Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Mikey up here, and today I'm just going to do a quick review of the last 3 series coupe and cabriolet. Alright, and what we have here today is actually an M3 cabriolet on my left and a 335i on my right. Okay, and today very quickly I'm just going to go through with you guys, you know, the differences of the exterior of the car and the interior of the car between the 335 and the M3, and also the engine specifications and also the driving impressions, yeah, of the 2 different cars. All right, and very quickly here, you know, we could actually go through what are the differences on the exterior of the car, you know. This particular M3 here is a 2008 model, and the 335 here is actually a 2010 model, yeah, you know. And if you can see, you know, there is quite a lot of difference between these 2 cars by just looking at the front end, yeah. One very distinctive feature of the M3 has always been the bonnet bulge here, which you see here, yeah, and it's also an aluminium bonnet as well, you know. And in comparison to that, you know, this one doesn't have the bulge, and this one has the vents here, and the left hand side one is actually functional because it acts as a secondary intake for the intake system on this M3, yeah. And one very distinctive feature is also the bumpers are very different, as you can see here. Yeah, the air scoop here is got a big air scoop vent here, you know, for cooling the brakes here. You know, it's a huge one, left and right. Yeah. Whereas on this one, it's just a very small one. Yeah, this 335 actually has what we call M Sport body kit on it. Yeah, all right, and you could see the differences. Yeah, both have the honeycomb lower grills. Yeah. But then again, as you can see, the M3 ones are much bigger. Yeah, you know, the center scoop. All right, that's the main difference at the front and the bonnet. And one very nice feature of the M3, which I always love, actually both the M3 and the coupe as well, you know, is the fenders. Yeah, you can see that this one has a much larger, yeah, arches here, yeah, you know, in comparison to the 335 here. Yeah, you can look at that distance here, and that, yeah, it's much bigger. Yep, and then it has the side scoops here as well on the M3, which is not present on the 335, and also the back here. Okay, again the arches, you know, it's much more pronounced and bigger on the M3. Yeah, on the 335 is not, you don't get so much of the arch bulge here. Okay, this is the cabriolet version. The tail lights are actually different from the 335, as you guys can see. Yeah, you know. All right, so that is the differences on the exterior of the car. Yeah. One difference is also the tire size, okay, on both the cars here. On the M3s, you know, they actually run a 265/40 rear 19 rear tires, and the fronts are actually, they are actually running, not mistaken, it's 245 or 255 35 series tires at the front, you know. And in comparison, the 335 has much lower profile tires, which is a 255/30 19s at the back, and the front is 225 35 19s at the front. Okay, those are the tire differences. Okay, and let us get to the mechanicals now. You know, the difference between the 2 cars are pretty huge. One is a normally aspirated car, 4-liter V8 on the M3, and it produces 414 horsepower, and the red line is 8,400 RPMs on the M3. Okay, and another big difference is on the 335, it's actually a twin turbo. It produces 301 bhp, and it still produces 400 Newton meters of torque stock, and the Newton meters, 400 Newton meters starts at 1,500 RPM, yeah, all the way to 5,000 RPM. So on the low end torque basis, the 335 has an advantage, all right. And you know, that is the on the engine differences, yeah. Okay. On the M3, we actually have DCT transmission, which was the first for BMW back then in 2007. You know, not mistaken, it's 2007. They had the first DCT in a BMW, and with this DCT over there, you know, the gear shifts and the gear changes are a lot better compared to the earlier SMG gearboxes. Yeah. It actually switch gears very quickly as well, yeah, in comparison to the SMG. All right. This particular 335 that we have here is also on a DCT gearbox, but the way it has been programmed is very different between the 335 and the M3. On the M3, the gear shifts are a lot faster, whereas on the 335 it's a lot lazier. Yeah. All right. So you know, that's the engine and transmission difference, yeah, between the two. Okay, but on the 335, on the earlier versions, we do have the 335. We do have the version which has the 6-speed automatic transmission on it. Yeah. Okay. So it was only at 2009 they switched to the DCT transmission. All right. And the next difference, major difference between the two vehicles is actually on the suspension system. Yeah. You know, the lower arms on the M3 is very different from the normal 335 cabriolets, and you know, there's more caster angle, and also there are rose joints on the lower arms of the M3. So the driving feel of the car is very, very different. Yeah, you know, that's the third thing we're going to talk about. You know, between the M3 and the 335. You know, we will give you some driving impressions. You know, how different these two cars are. Okay, so let's go for a quick test drive. You know, on the two vehicles. Cheers. We will do a quick test drive of this car. Because of the low end torque availability, 400 newtons available from 1,500 RPM. This car is very eager from the low RPM. This car is no longer stock, so it's not really representative of how the car is originally. Okay, but you know, the low end torque is available from 1,500 RPM, so there is a lot of power available from the bottom of the rev range. Just going to let the car warm up a little before we go very quickly in this car. This car has the M Sport suspension on it, and it's already 10 years old, and I think the car is much lower than how it was originally. Okay, first off is because this car has hydraulic steering, so it has quite a heavy feel, which is very different from the newer BMWs that has electric steering, and there's a lot of feedback from this engine. Right. That is the straight 6 here with twin turbos, right. And the car handles very well, and it's pretty neutral, right. There are quite a lot of few bumps here. Excuse me, there we go again, hitting another one. Okay, how this car rides. This car is actually now running on non-run flat tires, so the ride is pretty decent if you ask me, for a sporty car. I know is a lot of people do complain about the ride on the car being very hard, you know, when they were running run flat tires on
this E92, yeah, especially on 19-inch wheels. And now I'm on 19, and on 10-year-old tired suspension, it doesn't feel that much of those. It doesn't feel as hard, sorry, and that's how I feel. Yeah. Okay, we will do a quick acceleration run and see how we do. Yeah. Okay. Make sure the road is clear and nice before we. Alright. This car has the DCT transmission as well. I think it runs automatic. So cops in front. The gear shifts are they are okay, but it's not as fast as the Audi Volkswagen transmissions. Shifting. Why is that blinking? The tire pressure monitor. The shift down. What is that? It's not as fast.
Yeah.
There's a bit of crackle.
Yeah. It's nice.
Because this car originally came with the not original, but the previous owner actually upgraded with the BMW power kit, which has the additional radiator, bigger radiator fan, and also pump up the horsepower by another 20 horsepower. Alright, we are in the M3 now. This is not a coupe but a cabriolet, so it's not quite as stiff like a coupe is, but you can feel a slight difference between the coupe and this, especially the M3 is with the M3, the steering, M3 coupe, the steering is slightly heavier than this particular cabriolet, but straight off from coming from my 335, the steering is a lot more direct in this car. That's how I feel. And the way the transmission is, it feels pretty manual as well, in a sense. It doesn't have that when you sorry, the exhaust pipe is behind the car. Anyway, it doesn't have the creeping forward, motion on this car. When you are stopped at the traffic light junction, see, when I lift off my feet, the car doesn't creep forward. That is the first difference. Another difference, guys, look at the gear lever. It replicates a manual transmission. Your reverse gear is pushing it up.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And you push it this side is manual and auto. Okay. Just push it, and then you got your up and down motion there. All right. So it gives you the impression that you are actually like driving a manual car, right? But you're actually in like a semi-automatic. And the steering feel is a lot more direct with this car, because of the changes that they make with the suspension arms. Hear that, guys? That is a proper V8. You know, jumping from my 335 to this, you know, this engine is still something. Okay, sorry guys. Sitting at the passenger side here feels like a German muscle.
I mean, having sat proper American muscle cars like Mustangs,
yep,
this almost replicates it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this not only replicates it, you get that V8 sound and all that, but this one is at a higher pitch.
Yep.
You know, a very high pitch. Because the American muscle is very lazy.
Yeah.
You know, you finish off at 6 at the mid, you know, and this one drives all the way to 8.
Yeah.
Alright? Just for instance, see how fast we drop gears on this car. I'm in 4th gear now, I put my feet down. You know, it's an NA, it builds up. The speed just builds up. You know, and when you hit 6,000 RPM, it starts to vary to 10,000 RPM. You just feel like you are in a proper race car. Yeah. You know the way it feels. Yeah. You know the way it moves. So that's the difference between a 335 and an M3. Small difference is actually a lot. Yeah. The steering is so direct and nice. You feel the main difference is, you know, this one is so precise. Direct where the car to go. Just so direct. I do not know how you feel sitting at the passenger side.
It feels great. It feels very raw.
Yeah. So as in a 335, it's more like a GT cruiser. You don't get so much feedback through the steering wheel, and of course this one has the M suspension on it.
This is 7-speed, is it?
7-speed.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So all temperatures will creep up to 110. Early days when I was driving the E46 M3, I loved that as well. E46 M3, I like the feedback you get from the car and all that. And during that time, you know, I've been already tuning these cars and driving these cars as well. The impression I get coming from the E46 to this is this car feels very heavy in comparison to the E46.
But this is also built heavy, right?
Yes. I think because of the engine, one thing, and the chassis is slightly heavier than the 46. The 46, the feedback is also very nice. Feedback. Of course, this car has the catless downpipe. Guys, if you guys like what you have been watching, you know, please subscribe to my channel, you know, and let us know, you know, what you want to watch. Yeah, you know, and I shall see what I can do. All right, guys, catch you guys.